I don't even know what the biggest story would have been without Mike Gundy flapping his alcoholism gums. An amazing situation yesterday. I don't know what you were thinking, Mike. I don't understand it. We wondered aloud on this show after the Ollie Gordon DUI news broke if he would miss game time. And Oak State James jokingly said he'd be made to run stairs, but he would not miss game time. Kudos to you, sir, because apparently DUI is built into the culture. Drinking and driving, drunk driving is built into the culture at Oklahoma State, because it is shocking to me that Mike Gundy, in his defense of Ollie Gordon, got up in front of the assembled media at Big-12 Football Media Day and said this.
So I looked it up on my phone. What would be the legal limit? Like in Oklahoma is 0.08 and Ollie was 0.1. So I looked it up, and it was based on body weight. Not to get into the legal side of it, but I thought really 2 or 3 beers or 4. I'm not justifying what Ollie did. I'm telling you what decision I made. Well, I thought I've probably done that 1,000 times in my life. And I, it's just fine. So I got lucky. People get lucky. Ollie made a decision that he wished he could have done better. But when I talked to Ollie, I told him, I said, you're lucky you got out light because you make a lot of money to play football.
Wow. And then, not only that, but then he doubled down in stupidity and said,
we're in a time where you guys are essentially employees. You guys make lots of money to play this game. It's different than it was 5 years ago. And your punishment's going to be facing the facts. That's why we brought him here today. I said, you're not going into hiding. You're going to face the music. You're going to have to stand up and talk to people and answer questions. And hopefully, more than football, you can learn from the situation you've been in. Because if not, then we have a real issue. But he's going to play. And I'm going to do what we think is best for Oklahoma State football. And I think it's best for Ollie to play. If there's any punishment, it's make him carry the ball 50 times in the first game.
My God, dude. And if that wasn't enough, then he goes on KOTV6 Tulsa and says,
people say, what is his punishment going to be? Ollie's going to play. My job is to evaluate our team and each player in situations like this. He needs to handle it like he would if he was in the NFL. He needs to be a big boy. He needs to step up. We've had multiple conversations. He's going to have to show that he understands how serious that situation is over the next month. And we'll move forward from there. But I really believe that he understands that this could have been a really serious situation, and he got off lucky.
I don't know. I don't even know what to say about this. We've talked about it repeatedly. I think if you've watched this show at any amount of time, you know that I don't believe that Mike Gundy is the deity, the football god, the untouchable that everybody says he is. This is humiliating if you're an Oak State fan. If you are Oklahoma State University, your coach says he's driven drunk 1,000 times, and he is going to punish his star running back who got a DUI with tequila and vodka bottles in the car, allegedly, by making him play in games. That's going to be the punishment. He's going to have to play in games as a punishment for getting a DUI from the coach who says he's driven drunk thousands of times. Thousands of times. And yet Oak State fan will get in our comment section and tell you that I'm unfair and I'm too hard on Mike Gundy. I don't even know. We were watching this go down yesterday. I have never been shocked at something that happens at a media day. This right here was shocking to me, Jake, and I don't know I don't know how Oklahoma State University does not take action here.
Well, and I think the other thing too that we need to look at is Mike Gundy, makes these comments, right? Makes the, hey, I must have done this a thousand times in my life comment, right? And everyone, kind of reacted to that sort of the same way we're reacting to it. And then Mike Gundy, at some point, I don't know exactly when he thought it would be a good idea to tweet it, but at some point you tweeted, hey, like my comments weren't meant to represent something specific, which tells me that someone got to you and said, hey, dude, you just said that you must have been drunk driving 1,000 times in your life. And that's probably not a good look for our university. So you might want to go ahead and hop on everyone's favorite social media platform, X, and walk that back. And he knows it's wrong. He knows he made a mistake. He knows that there's an issue here. And I don't genuinely believe that he thinks it's a problem to punish Ollie Gordon by giving him 50 carries in the first game, or by making him, as Oak State James said, run stairs, or, I just don't think Mike, lives in the modern world where it's unacceptable for any athlete, let alone the face of your team, in my opinion, all due respect to Alan Bowman, the face of your team and Ollie Gordon, to get off essentially scot-free. And what I thought was hilarious yesterday, going off of what Mike Gundy said, we didn't really see all that much out of Ollie Gordon. Like, if you go looking for Ollie Gordon on the internet yesterday, all you're going to get is more from that local KUTV or KOTV 6 spot that Gundy participated in. That same guy, Justin Woodward, did several interviews of players. And Bowman's out here talking about how they're going to work through it. And Ollie's like, I'm going to show up and not let my guys stand out high and dry. So we have this weird complex in the Oklahoma State football program where all of a sudden it's some responsibility you have to be in the spotlight, to answer the questions instead of being completely removed from what is a privilege to be a player and personnel at Big 12 football media days, and to just be a college football player in a power program. And that's what my issue is that Mike Gundy is somehow like sending this message that it's okay to do this, I feel like, and that's wrong.
If I'm Brett Yormark, if I'm the Big 12, I'm pissed. This is by far a bigger story. And if you look at the national picture, yes, ESPN talked about Brett Yormark's speech, without doubt. This got far more airtime. This Mike Gundy quote got far more airtime than Brett Yormark did. And it's shocking that he said it. And I would fully expect that the Big 12, and if you are Brett Yormark, is it enough to just have a private conversation with Mike Gundy? I know he's a god and a deity and he's never done anything wrong, but is it enough just to have a conversation with Mike Gundy? Is it enough to say, hey, man, that wasn't cool. I know you said that you're going to punish Ollie Gordon for DUI by making him play. And then it's not fair. They also said it wasn't fair to the rest of the team to take Ollie Gordon off the field. But was it fair to the community in Oklahoma when he was on the roadways driving drunk with alcohol bottles in his car, allegedly? Come on now. You got to be better than that. And you just can't have Mike Gundy say this.
So I looked it up on my phone. What would be the legal limit? Like in Oklahoma is 0.08 and Ollie was 0.1. So I looked it up and it was based on body weight. Not to get into the legal side of it, but I thought really 2 or 3 beers or 4. I'm not justifying what Ollie did. I'm telling you what decision I made. Well, I thought I've probably done that 1,000 times in my life. And I, it's just fine. So I got lucky. People get lucky. Ollie made a decision that he wished he could have done better. But when I talked to Ollie, I told him, I said, you're lucky you got out light because you make a lot of money to play football.
First of all, you didn't get out. You didn't get out light. You gave him the out light. He should be suspended. He should miss meaningful snaps, not 50 scrimmage snaps in week 1. He should miss the Arkansas game at a minimum. I go even further back to say this is another example of, as a country, we don't take DUI seriously enough. We don't. We just had a football coach who is supposed to be a legend and a god say that he's driven drunk thousands of times. And he just turned what the police say was tequila and vodka bottles into a couple of beers. I'm telling you now, this is a bad dude. This is not a good human being, Mike Gundy. This is not somebody that we should put up as an example of greatness. This is a guy who only cares about football. And he's not even that great at winning football games. Congratulations on your regular season championships. Mike Gundy is not the legend you make him out to be. Mike Gundy is not this great maker of men and leader that you make him out to be. And I've been telling you this for over a year on this show. His embarrassing performance a year ago, where he yelled at people and tried to humiliate people in Dallas at Big-12 Media Day. Now, this year, he tops that performance by admitting he's driven drunk 1,000 times. Thousands of times.
And I just wonder, do you not think before you speak?
Man.
As the head coach of your football team, do you not consider the ramifications of what you say? I mean, obviously you knew that you were going to get asked a bunch of questions about Ollie Gordon. Like, that's pretty obvious. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. But to show up and not have, and it didn't even need to be a prepared statement, but you did need to have prepared talking points. Like, you did need to know what you wanted to say about the situation. And what he should have said is just some type of coach speak about it, right? Like, and I know we all hate that. I know that we all lean on coaches when they do that. It's the, all the infamous Bill Belichick moments, and like, we all hate that. But the reality is that's the best way to handle it. Hey, you know what? He made a mistake, and he's going to pay the price for that. And, honestly, what I would have said is you either should have said, we haven't determined what the punishment's going to be yet. We're still evaluating it as an institution. Or you should have said he's going to miss game time. Those are the two acceptable answers, in my opinion.
But how fucking tone deaf are you when we're talking about Kyrie Jackson, the rookie of the Minnesota Vikings, who just died in a car accident over the weekend that is suspected to be alcohol related? And you come out and say that you've done that 1,000 times.
And that Ollie Gordon should handle it like he's in the NFL. That's
crazy to me.
Come on, dude.
Crazy.
It's clear you live in your own world. It's, again, like I said, it's clear that Mike Gundy, it is not, if you want to use the word cultured or caught up to speed, or like, someone's got to get to this dude and say, hey, bro, we're not living in the 2000s anymore, man. Like, we're not, it's not okay to say, yeah, he went out and, even though it was vodka and tequila bottles, yeah, he went out and had a couple beers. It's no big deal.
And his body weight,
dude.
Based on his body weight.
But not to get into the legal side of things. Come on, dude. We see what you're doing. We get it.
And to your point, does Oak State not employ PR people? Or is Mike Gundy just not going to listen to anybody? Which is what I think it is.
Yeah.
Because if you are any kind of PR, public relations professional, Ollie Gordon does not go to media day. And Mike Gundy says, I can't talk about Ollie's situation. We're handling that internally, and we will announce discipline at a later date.
Yeah.
But we can't, I can't get into that. It's the
process is playing out.
Yeah. It's in court. We need to let the process play out. Period. Done. Hey, but man, have you seen our schedule? Have you seen look how many guys we got coming back to Stillwater? We are excited about this upcoming season.
Dude, it's the old Brett Yormark strategy, right? We've seen it 1,000 times. Hey, Brett, what do you think about all these schools you poached out of the Pac-12? Well, you know what? Realignment is an interesting situation. But hey, we're really focused on this. That's all you have to do, Mike. It's not rocket science. It's not difficult. Like, there's examples every day, and yet you choose to handle it this way. And yeah, I if I'm the commissioner's office, I am calling Mike Gundy. I am, giving him a lot of trouble about this, man. Like, how are you not better than this?
Now, to his credit, Mike Gundy knew he stepped in a jackpot as soon as he said that, I think, because he issued this. I mean, it is a tweet. It's not backtracking. It's not an apology. My intended point today at Big 12 Media Days was that we are all guilty of making bad decisions. It was not a reference to something specific.
Yeah, but what we're not all guilty of is being a D1 NFL running back, NFL prospect.
We're not all guilty of being a god who drives drunk thousands of times, and then we publicly admit that. That's what we're not. No, there's no sorry. Note in this tweet, there's no I have never driven drunk. My point was to illustrate. Notice there wasn't I misspoke. My point today at Big 12 Media Days was that we are all guilty of making bad decisions.
But unfortunately, and call me an asshole if you want to,
You're an asshole.
I'm not guilty of being a drunk driver. I'm not guilty of being irresponsible. I'm not guilty of having allegedly open vodka and tequila bottles in my back seat. I'm not like, I haven't done that. So sorry, Mike, I'm not going to sit here and read that tweet and be like, yeah, well, we really misunderstood you saying you must have done that 1,000 times in your life.
So let me ask you point blank. And in the comment section, let's get to the comment section earlier today, because I think this is really important. How big of a deal is this? How big of a deal is it? It was clearly the #1 story at Media Day yesterday. Not close. Not Utah, who we're going to talk about in a minute, having a dominant performance yesterday, saying all the right things. Not Brett Yormark saying all the right things. Mike Gundy admitting he's driven drunk 1,000 times. Thousands of times, excuse me. Thousands of times. Was the #1 story at Big 12 Football Media Days yesterday. And I think it's a big deal. If I were Oklahoma State, the problem here for me is I believe Oklahoma State has given Mike Gundy a free pass, meaning there's nothing he could do to get himself in trouble. I saw a comparison to Bob Huggins. Stop. Mike Gundy is not anything near what was going on with Bob Huggins.
Yeah.
So let's not compare. Let's talk about this situation specifically. Mike Gundy, in my opinion, needs to be disciplined for this. I don't know what the discipline would be. Do you fine him? You're not going to, you're, in my opinion, I would take them both off the field for the first 2 games of the year. I think you have to send a clear message. Driving while intoxicated is unacceptable behavior. And admitting you've done that thousands of times is a problem for us in Stillwater. And here at Oklahoma State University and here in the Big 12 Conference, we do not tolerate reckless behavior that puts people's lives in danger. So we're going to sit Ollie Gordon and Mike Gundy down for 2 games. That's what should happen, in my opinion.
Agreed completely.
100%. And nothing. My guess is we'll never hear another word about it.
At most, I think you would hear, hey, like at most in any scenario in the real world, you would hear, yeah, you know what? Mike's going to go through some PR training and just some sensitivity training and that'll be it. Like if that happens.
My feeling is we never hear another word about this. We might get a Mike Gundy, I just want to clarify, I've never driven drunk comment. And I don't condone that behavior. I doubt it because Mike Gundy's ego is massive.
Yeah.
Mike Gundy's ego is huge. And I think he is unchecked. Oh, and I know we have a lot of Oak State fans that listen to the show. Where are you at on this? Look, there's Kay Sumbry right there, an Oak State fan. If he was 0.10, the bottles of vodka and tequila does not matter much. If he was 0.10 without the bottles, he was still 0.10. But the reason I bring up the bottles, okay, is because, and I want to play this again.
Yeah.
Listen to Mike Gundy justifying is he justifying? I want to be careful. I don't want to go too far. I think he is excusing,
downplaying,
and at a minimum,
downplaying
yeah, Ollie Gordon's DUI arrest.
So I looked it up on my phone. What would be the legal limit? Like in Oklahoma is 0.08, and Ollie was 0.1. So I looked it up, and it was based on body weight. Not to get into the legal side of it, but I thought really 2 or 3 beers or 4. I'm not justifying what Ollie did. I'm telling you what decision I made. Well, I thought I've probably done that 1,000 times in my life. And I, it's just fine. So I got lucky. People get lucky. Ollie made a decision that he wished he could have done better. But when I talked to Ollie, I told him, I said, you're lucky you got out light because you make a lot of money to play football.
Dude.
I mean, he's justifying it. And I would also, again, point out, what is Mike Gundy saying there? Well, he only had 4 beers. Minimum, or maximum, rather. Oh, it's a 0.1. That's 2, 3, 4 beers. The guy is 20 years old. Does that not resonate with anybody? Ollie Gordon is not old enough to drink. Did Mike Gundy talk about that? No. Did Mike Gundy condone alcohol consumption by a minor? No. Did Mike Gundy condone DUIs? No. In fact, just the opposite. He said, well, if you've had 2, 3, 4 beers, that's not 2, 3, 4 beers.
And I want to put this in context. Like a simple Google search will yield you a chart from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
I looked at the same chart last night.
Not my opinion, right? Not anyone's opinion. Not like, hey, you guys hate Oklahoma State. This chart very clearly shows you, hey, 3 drinks, generally speaking, will take you to 0.1, right? 2 drinks will take you to 0.08. And there's a difference between legally intoxicated and impaired by this graph. So any way you slice it, whether you're Mike Gundy, Ollie Gordon, a Mike Gundy defender is an Oak State fan. If you guys are defending him, we'll see in a minute. But anybody trying to tell you that this cat wasn't drunk is out of your mind. And anybody downplaying what this dude did is severely, I would say, underselling the choice he made here. Because this is how I approach drunk driving. You were wherever you were. We'll use a bar as an example.
Right.
I don't know where Ollie was, but let's just say you're at the bar. You had your first beer.
You're out drinking socially no matter where you are.
Right. You had your first beer. You know that you probably got 2 hours to drive. I've been in this very situation myself. What's the protocol? Hey, you're going to have a drink with dinner. But, hey, I better not have another one because if I have another one, look at the chart. If I have another one, I'm going to have some problems here, right?
So Ollie Gordon, by the way, is a male who is 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think his official listed weight is 216 pounds. So go with the even go with the 220 if you want to, right? A male at 1 drink at 220 is 0.3. A male at 3 drinks is legally drunk in Oklahoma. 0.09.
And that's 0.09, bro. So by this chart, he's had 4.
That's exactly right. And I would also point out, if you go with the 200-pound number, at 3 drinks, he's over the legal limit. At 3 drinks, he is over the legal limit in Oklahoma at the 200-pound number.
So don't tell me that this dude had a couple of beers out back and, he got, it's just an unfortunate situation and he got off lucky. No, it's what you said. You're letting him off lucky. You're not disciplining him. You are sending the message it's okay.
The people who were driving around him got off lucky, not Ollie Gordon. Ollie Gordon did not get off lucky. Kay Sumbry also says Monty is tripping on discipline for Gundy.
I don't think we are.
So you don't think there should be any discipline for saying you've driven drunk thousands of times? You're the head coach at supposedly a behemoth university football program. Is this not Friday Night Lights? Is this not the program?
Yeah, is this not the classic situation?
Where where there are movies about reckless dudes who only care about winning games? Take the shot, Jimmy! You're taking the injection, you little bitch! Right? Like, is that not what this is? This is a head football coach at Oklahoma State saying he's driven drunk thousands of times.
And I don't think it's just the words he spoke either, although those matter. It's the way he said it. He's so like nonchalant with, oh, well, I thought to myself, I must have done that 1,000 times. Well, Mike, the only problem with that is, A, that sends a horrible message that you would even say that. But B, it tells me that you're just not, you as a dude do not take intoxicated driving seriously.
No, he doesn't.
Like,
and James, yes. Oh my God, I forgot about Eddie Sutton. Oh my God, Eddie Sutton, the basketball legend, had to retire because he got a DUI and got into a crash. Then again in '97, they had shirts that said Stillwater is a drinking town with a football problem.
And I'm fine with that. Notice what do we not have in that cool little slogan right there, bro? Stillwater is a drinking town with a football problem where we drive drunk and almost kill people.
Thousands of times.
Notice that part's not in the statement. So it's not a problem that he was drinking, bro. It was a problem that he got in the vehicle.
Well, and he's 20 years old and Mike Gundy just glossed it.
Like, good Lord.
No discipline. You're justifying your 20-year-old star running back driving drunk, allegedly. Because it hasn't been adjudicated yet. So I say allegedly. I'd remind you, this was early morning hours. There were, according to police, multiple bottles of open alcohol, which, and I'm not saying the tops or the caps were off, but they were opened. They were partially consumed tequila and vodka bottles.
Mm-hmm.
In your 20-year-old running back's car when he was pulled over for DUI.
Which nobody seemingly is talking about either, by the way.
Mapes, we're not supposed to kick a kid when he's down. Terrible message. He's setting Gordon up for future failure.
And kick a person when he's down.
Maurice Claret, Lawrence Phillips, etc. Well, Lawrence Phillips there were some bigger issues at play right there. But yeah, Mike Gundy is living on this.
If anybody hasn't read this article, I don't read it. This was brought to me by a mother of children. I think this is worth reading. Let me tell you why I want to talk about this article. 3/4 of this is inaccurate. It's fiction. And this article embarrasses me, but you didn't have that. But someday you will. And when your child comes home, you'll understand. If you want to go after an athlete, one of my athletes, you go after one that doesn't do the right things. You don't downgrade him because he does everything right and may not play as well on Saturday. And you let us make that decision. That's why I don't read the newspaper. Because it's garbage. And the editor that let it come out is garbage. Attacking an amateur athlete for doing everything right. And then you want to write articles about guys that don't do things right and downgrade them, the ones that do make plays. Are you kidding me? Where are we at in society today? Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm not a kid. Write something about me or our coaches. Don't write about a kid that does everything right, that's heart's broken, and then say that the coaches said he was scared. That ain't true. And then to say that we made that decision because Donovan Woods, because he threatened to transfer, that's not true. So get your facts straight. And I hope someday you have a child and somebody downgrades them and belittles them and you have to look them in the eye and say, you know what? It's okay. They're supposed to be mature adults, but they're really not. Who's the kid here? Who's the kid here? Are you kidding me? And that's all I got to say. It makes me want to puke.
Mike, bro.
I'm a man because it's garbage. So get your facts straight. Where are we at in society today?
And don't you write articles about our 20-year-old star running back getting a DUI.
Makes me want to puke.
You write the articles about the times and the thousands of times I've driven drunk.
I'm a man.
And gotten lucky in my life. You come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. He's only 20. He's not even old enough to drink.
So get your facts straight.
That editor who said he's garbage.
Because it's garbage.
Hey,
I hope
Mike,
you have a kid that drinks and drives at 20 years old and then look him in the eye and you tell him, there's no punishment, sir. You're going to play. Then let's see how you feel about it.
Note the low-key reference to amateur athletes.
Attacking an amateur athlete. They're not amateurs, Mike.
So
they're
wait,
employees.
Well, Mike, I thought that Ollie is supposed to handle this like he's in the NFL.
Bro.
Come on, man.
Come on. Dakota Tubbs. Guys. This is also the same school that leaves dead cattle on people's lawns. Let's be real. They probably don't care.
Kick a person when he's down.
They probably don't care. They don't care. You know, they don't. Jeremiah Champion. Anyone that defends him is defending drunk driving.
Like, that's it.
Yeah. James, I wasn't joking. They have put stair machines on sidelines and made them do 10 to 15,000 steps to equal the number of times Mike Gundy. Anyway, before they could practice, Ollie should do 25K. Yeah, because we shouldn't take him off the field. I mean, that's unfair to the rest of the team, according
Listen to me.
Mike
Let's
Gundy.
be really clear on this, okay? Making dude physically exert himself is not a punishment. So the concept of, hey, give him 50 carries the first game. Let him take a beating. We'll show him what a real car accident looks like. That's not a punishment.
No.
Right? The punishment should be you're going to miss 2 games. And to your point, the Arkansas game. And then we're going to go and Coach Carter your ass and make you run and make you physically exert yourself to think twice about what you did. So I just don't understand why. Like I still every day on this show, I swear to God, we've been doing the show like 10 years now or whatever it's been. Every day I feel like there's one example where I'm like, how did you mess up such an easy thing? How did you mess this up, Mike? How did you show up to media day in your bright ass orange polo shirt with your perfectly coiffed mullet and say this?
I don't know.
How do you not, like, is there zero sense of responsibility to your conference? That's what's incredible to me. Ollie, dude, you're a kid. You messed up. You can only, play it as it lies at this point, essentially. Like, you're going to take the punishment you're given, and for all his purposes, he's going to move on and do what he needs to do. I can't blame him for the punishment that he's not being given, right? Like, it's not anymore an Ollie issue. This is a Mike Gundy problem.
Dakota Tubbs, the resident Vladimir Putin supporter. I hope Ollie, come on. It's not too early for Putin jokes. I hope Ollie's new TD celebration is him drinking a beer. Teammates help him do a keg stand in the end zone. Would be hilarious. I'm just here for jokes.
Right.
Because TD celebrations don't hurt anyone. That's fine. Yeah. Hey, John Dry, how are you?
Hey, y'all.
That would be an epic. Okay. I can see Gundy getting in trouble if he coached at BYU.
I don't know, John. I don't know who Gundy is, but Mike Gundy would not last one single day at BYU.
But I'd also remind you, Jamal Williams, late of the Detroit Lions, New Orleans Saints, missed a year after getting a ticket for possession of alcohol by consumption. Possession by consumption. Remember that? He missed a year. Now, I'm not saying let's get all crazy and knock out all caffeinated beverages in Stillwater. I'm not saying that. But you have to take Ollie Gordon and I think Mike Gundy off the field for 2 games. Your head football coach said, I've driven drunk thousands of times and never once condemned Ollie Gordon for driving drunk. Never once said he's 20 years old. Maybe he's 20 years old and he's already got a DUI. Maybe we should get him some help. I know it's crazy. to put the human being before the football game.
But instead, we're going to question the legal system and say that, oh, well, it's a body weight thing, but not to get into the legal side of things. Come on, dude. I'm just ultimately, I'm going to pull out the old dad line. I'm not mad at you. I'm disappointed. That's what it is with Gundy, dude. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I'm disappointed in you for just having just complete ignorance, dude. Like,
I'm disappointed in you, Ollie, for putting the lives of your fellow Oklahomans in jeopardy because you were driving drunk and you're not even old enough. You broke the law,
man.
So we're going to have to take you off the field for a couple of weeks, and we're going to need to make sure that we, what do they call them? Intervention courses or programs. We're going to have to get you involved in some alcohol intervention programs because we're worried about your long-term viability as a man, not as a football player. Because remember, you're a man. You're 40, Mike.
Yeah.
As a man, we're worried about your health in the long run. I'm concerned that as a 20-year-old, not old enough to drink, you have a DUI. We need to do something. I'm worried about you as a human, Ollie. Oh, gotcha.
Mike's not going to talk about that.
No, because Ollie makes too much money. Remember Mike Gundy saying he makes too much money.
And he's got to handle it like he's an NFL player.
Fuck out of here.
Only he's not an NFL player.
Jeremiah Champion, there are people on Twitter condoning it. Go look at my Twitter feed.
Yeah.
People were pissed yesterday that I talked about
this isn't a big deal, dude. He was 0.1. Like, what's the problem?
I was told yesterday that I hate Oklahoma State. Not untrue. That I hate...
And kick a person when he's down.
I'm kidding.
It was a joke. Dude.
Cowboy
Relax.
Down. Don't go kill any steers. My point is, I was told yesterday I hate Oak State, and that I'm only talking about this non-story because I hate Oak State.
Oh, non-story about the savior of your offense. Come on, man.
Matt Ritson, hello. Gundy and Ollie should spend a weekend picking up garbage on the highway with prison jumpsuits. They match the orange.
But in all seriousness, dude, I do think that Ollie Gordon needs something like that. Not specifically that, but he needs something. He needs to go through something that changes his perspective on alcohol and drinking.
Is it lost on everybody? And you know what? I'll reach out to Oak State and I'll reach out to the Big-12 and I will ask them, is it lost on anybody that he's only 20 years old? Is that not part of this conversation? That he's 20 years old and you're not even talking about that.
Wasn't even referenced by Mike Gundy in everything that he said yesterday.
Dakota Tubbs, I don't condone any of this. I feel like I have to say this. Well, I think everybody has to say that.
Yeah.
Caleb Aylmore, I think most Oak State fans are surprised as everyone else. At what? What do you mean? James, I wasn't joking. Oh, I read that one. My bad.
Yeah, come on, dude.
My bad. I'm a terrible person. Case Sumbry says Ollie should be punished for sure. James says, if I was a strength and conditioning coach. Here we go with Oak State alumnus James. James stadium guy and loves Buc-ee's. James is a graduate of Oak State. If I were the strength and conditioning coach, I'd run Gordon until he throws up and then make him run some more. Yeah, that's put a kid's life in danger because he drove drunk. I
just don't think that. See, like, that's old world philosophy. With all due respect, I don't think that it's about. It's no longer about making the punishment hurt more than the crime. That's not what this is about. This is about sending a message that, hey, man, if you're old enough to enjoy the spotlight of being a running back and, living that life, then you're old enough to know that what you did here is A, illegal, but B.
But they don't do illegal things.
Apparently they do.
We don't do that because it's illegal.
Because it's illegal.
We don't do that.
I don't break the rules.
Yeah, well, I don't break the rules are different than laws. You break laws thousands of times in your life.
Come on, dude.
And now every time he makes a stupid coaching decision, we have the right to ask if he's drunk.
Because it's illegal.
Case summary, it was definitely stupid for Gundy to say stupid is as stupid does. Yet this is a guy that Oak State fans say is a great football coach and is a legend, right? Was he drunk when he tried to call plays? Was he drunk when Alan Bowman and his kid were competing at quarterback? Was he drunk when he's the one that got lucky that Ollie Gordon turned into a star?
What would we be saying if Ollie Gordon was out for the year with bodily injury because he was driving intoxicated? What would the narrative be then? Would Mike Gundy's narrative have changed if that would have happened? Because that's a real possibility. That could have happened. And someone needs to be saying that.
It's brutal. The whole thing is brutal. Oh, look, Oak State James.
Oh.
Gives us $10. The stairs on the sideline is meant to embarrass.
Well, Marty, I've got some really elite drone footage of the stairs on the southwestern side, north of the portal, of the stairs, and they're really quite beautiful.
The stairs on the sideline is meant to embarrass him and humble him. He can't practice until it's done, all 25,000 steps. I'm not opposed to Gordon missing games. Make it clear to him that DWI is wrong. Running is not a punishment.
Yeah, dude, this isn't Coach Carter, bro. This is not
running
like,
is not a punishment.
This is like we've graduated from, hey, dude's 20 years old, never known what a cell phone was in his life, and is no longer like we're not in that time anymore, man. You gotta I'm telling you, I love the concept of, hey, we're gonna have him show up and talk about it. That on its own, I'm cool with. Make him face the music, but we gotta have discipline too, bro. He should be saying in the local news and all the interviews, he should be saying, yeah, I'm here today because you know what? I don't want my teammates to deal with this. I want to deal with it myself because it is my mistake. And because I made this mistake, I will be missing 2 games. And I agree with that punishment. It's proper. It sends a clear message, and I want to send a clear message. But here we are.
And now I have to go because I have to run 25,000 stairs. Okay, we'll see you guys later.
Hey, Ollie, do you want a towel from Big-12 Media Day, by the way?
Dude that abides. I haven't checked, but how much media coverage is this actually getting? A lot.
Yeah, a lot. I would say it's the biggest story out of Big-12 Media Days.
A lot. In the talk radio world, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Hopefully it dies down today. That's the bigger issue here is, and we're going to talk about it here in about 5 minutes, but I thought Brett Yormark was spectacular yesterday. And most people are not talking about that. That'll dictate really whether accountability is levied. Yeah, it will.
That's a good point.
Cindy has to win. Gundy? Cindy?
Gundy.
He knows that he won't be a coach much longer without some serious success, so he isn't going to keep his best player on the field. He's going to keep his best player on the field no matter what, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I don't agree that his seat is out, though. I think the guy can coach there another 30 years, and I wouldn't even be surprised.
Dakota Tubbs wants to know who Cindy is. I mean, runnishment. Exactly right.
Right.
Kay Sumbry. Whoa, what now? So he did his time and he will have community service. Okay.
What time did he do, though? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. Kay Sumbry, 20-year-old college kids drink, Monty. It's not legal, but it's reality. But 20-year-old college kids, yes, they drink. Do they all get a free pass when they get DUIs? Do they all go out and get DUIs? Do they all? And this is a thing that people don't want to embrace.
Yeah.
He has to be held to a higher standard. He's a multimillionaire in my estimation. And he's given the privilege of being a college football player. And yes, it is true. And this is the thing that people conflate all the time. Yes, he earned the privilege of being a college football player. But you also have to earn the privilege of continuing to be a college football player through your actions. 20-year-old college kids drink. Yes, that's a reality, unfortunately. Not all of them get in cars and go endanger the lives of the people around them. Ollie Gordon did that and will not be punished for it. He won't be punished for it.
So no, it's not an issue that he drank in private. As soon as you walk out that front door, that's where you have issues. That's it. Like it's that simple. Like, and this is the thing that we don't talk to young people about. Hey, bro, nobody gives a damn what you do behind closed doors. You want to be drunk, you want to do drugs, you want to do all that. Nobody cares because it's in private, behind closed doors. You want to do all that? I don't condone it, but be my guest. Go ahead. That's your choice as a human being. You can do that. But if you're going to make the decision to walk out the front door and get in a vehicle and endanger people, now we've got a problem. So yeah, college kids do drink, but college kids typically don't get in cars and endanger people's lives. And we need to stop trying to spin this as like, oh, he's just a kid. He drank. No big deal. It is a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Case summary, he will lose his license. He'll have to pay fines. He will do up to 24 hours in jail. He will have to do community service. He will have to take DUI classes. Right. But again, he's not the average student at Oklahoma State. He's not. He's not paying for his education. He's making millions of dollars, and he is getting a free pass. That's not good enough. There are consequences that you face for your actions. Whether you are a politician that had a baby out of wedlock, because I watched the John Edwards documentary the other night. You face consequences in court, out of court. Like you're on a higher level. You're a celebrity. You're held to a higher standard. That's why the NFL has personal conduct policies. Oh, Mike Gundy says he wants to get him ready for the NFL, right? He says, hey, this cat, and I think he said it in the KOTV6 thing, or let's see.
Face the music one, I think he said it.
Face me. Here's Mike Gundy talking about facing the music.
We're in a time where you guys are essentially employees. You guys make lots of money to play this game. It's different than it was 5 years ago. And your punishment's going to be facing the facts. That's why we brought him here today. I said, you're not going into hiding. You're going to face the music. You're going to have to stand up and talk to people and answer questions. And hopefully, more than football, you can learn from the situation you've been in. Because if not, then we have a real issue. But he's going to play. And I'm going to do what we think is best for Oklahoma State football. And I think it's best for Ollie to play. If there's any punishment, it's make him carry the ball 50 times in the first game.
We're going to do what's best for Oklahoma State football. What about what's best for the player? It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
You're a man, you're 40.
Yeah.
But you're not going to do what's best for Ollie Gordon.
I'm a man.
Because you need to win. The perception is that you're worried about losing games, which is why Ollie Gordon's going to play, and he's going to carry the ball 50 times in week 1. It's wild to me. It's wild to me. Crazy. D's nuts for $5.
This better be a good comment, bro.
I think the reason why Gundy kept him is because he knows the team is coming in are tough and competitive. Without Ollie, they'll struggle. You're probably right. But can you beat Arkansas without Ollie Gordon? If you can't, maybe Mike Gundy's not a very good football coach.
Again, I don't even disagree with you. I agree that's probably why he's behaving the way he's behaving. But again, what's the clear issue with that? Hey, football matters more than what you do as a man. And that's a problem, bro. Like, what happened to, hey, I'm Mike Gundy. We're making men here in Oak State. We're taking kids and we're turning them into men, and we really care about the community and everything.
James,
come on, bro.
What if we make him pick up trash at Boone Pickens Stadium for the entire season? Okay, great.